Hello, December. November is ended just like that. And now we're in the last month of the year. And wow, 2024. 2024 has been that year. Started off with the rain, and it's all clearly going to end raining. Sijui kama mumenotice. Mumenotice tulianza Januari na mvua na tunamaliza mwaka na mvua. So that means when it comes to mambo like farming and all that, this has been one of the most productive years. And I can actually attest to that, by the way. Although mimi si mkulima hodari, but I can attest that this has definitely been one of those years very productive when it comes to mambo na farming and all that. But anyway, here it is. Hello, December. Wow. So this morning I was thinking about this. And I want to post this I want to start this with a question. In your family, who was the first person to break out? Who was the first person to ever break out in your family? Like break the barriers or go beyond what your norm is? Who was the first person ever in your family to ever break that generational curse or whatever it is? I'm not talking about your extended family. I'm just talking about your nuclear family. Nyinyi kwenyu, nani wa first kubreak your barrier akavuka beyond your norm as a family? And how was it, and how are they doing in their lives? What did they do to break that barrier? And the reason I'm doing this video is because earlier this week, I went to a funeral of a young guy at the age of 20 who died at the age of 20 in a biker accident, in a motorbike accident, a motorbike crash. And kwa hiyo mazishi kulikuwa na vijana wengi sana. And as I was just there, looking at this, for me, most of these guys are like my kids. When I look at my age and I look at their age, and I even look at their parents, I can clearly say these are like my kids. So this story that we buried this week is like I would probably call him like a son. And I thought about it. I didn't stay there till the end, Sabu. It was a lot of craziness going on, but it just got me thinking about generational curses and generational blessings. I talk about them here on these videos a lot. Who was the first person in your family to break through your norm as a family? Whether, it could be anything. The first person to fly out of the country in your family, the first person to buy a car in your family, the first person to break out financially in your family. Who was that person? And maybe some families have never experienced that. But for my family, it definitely has to be my bro. Mwenye amenifuata, the younger one, the one who's my immediate, ule amenifuata, mi ndo firstborn kwetu. So this guy is one of the most brilliant human beings I've ever known. School, nini. I mean, in school he was always the, lead in his class or second, alikuwa mse genius when it comes to education mse. We cannot say that about me. But, this guy went ahead to become like a veterinary officer or something in his field, that is. He was the first person in our family to buy a car. And he was also the first person in our family to ever do a wedding. Actually, I think the only person. The first person to do a wedding. And the first person to ever have a family. And being the first comes with a lot of charges here and there. It comes with a lot of fight and a lot of war and a lot of, I mean, you're now into uncharted territory. You're now in a new ground, or like we used to say in church, new level, new devil. You are now in a new level of life, and that means with the new level will come new set of demons that you have to keep fighting every day, because you're the first to break out. You're the first to get to a certain level in your family. And so, number one, you become like, I remember at one point, because mi nilikuanga na struggle sana in life, because he was the first to break out in every way, and I was the one struggling a lot. At one point, he became like almost the firstborn of the family, if you know what I'm saying. Like, people who didn't know me personally, and they met us all at once, like after a while of getting to know my family, they'll probably say that he's the firstborn of our family, because he got to break out fast. He has a family. I mean, everything is going well for him and all that. And then, I guess being the first also comes in with a lot of battles that you have to fight. And most of those battles are internal battles. Being the first comes in, even the Bible says, to him who has been given much, much is expected. To him who has been awarded much, much is expected of him. So being the first to break out, being the first to achieve something, being the first to go beyond the norm of our family, a lot is expected of him in terms of responsibility. A lot is expected of him in terms of stability. And now kwetu hakuna mtoi. I can't say ati when he broke out there was like a young child in school. No, by the time he was buying a car, no one was in school. Everyone was working. And so this is things that people normally don't talk about, but being the first comes in with a lot of challenges, because you're now in a ground that no one has ever been, not even your parents. So if anything is to happen, people look out to you more. Now, for me, that journey has taken a while. For me, that journey has been a slow journey to get to where I am right now. But either way, it got me thinking when I saw this kid being buried, and I looked at that whole situation and I'm like, he had so much potential. And now I'm talking about the guy mwenye nilikuwa nimeenda mazishi yake this week. That guy had so much potential. So much potential to become to become anything he'd ever wanted to be. And as much as death is inevitable and nobody knows the end, how he lived his life. I didn't know him for long, but hizo siku mbili tatu nilimjua, or meet him at the garage or one, I saw him as a very good vibes kind of kid. And what I would say about this, Mama, when I'm doing this video, there's so much that is in my mind about this whole situation that it is so sad to see people with such potential, people who are born and have supportive parents and have everything going for them, and looking at their lives. For me, I would say it was sad for me to see that young life taken out like that. And also kusikia story yake from friends and from family, how family knew him versus how friends knew him. It's a complete, it's two different worlds. And just like I say, to him who much is given, much is expected. I think ule msee mwenye ukuanga wa kwanza kubreak out kwa family, yupitia mambo mingi sana. Because now he is in a different level of life that if he's not careful, if they're not careful, your journey huwa a very slippery slope, a very, very slippery slope. In that, say, as so much is expected of him, that means he has to be an example to everyone else, including the community, in character, in behavior, in life, in lifestyle, in everything. Na mostly mtu pigana na mambo mingi sana. The same thing even with my brother. I've watched him. Yes, he has attained all these levels, new levels in his life, but he also has his internal battles that no one talks about and nobody really talks about, because kila mtu ana expect umse ako fiti. Yani everyone is expecting that this guy is okay. He has to be okay. Like he's been able, I may make it. You know, that's what we say, I may make it. So definitely he has to be okay. But my question has always been, who does the strongest person, who do they go to when they need someone to talk to? Who is their go-to person? Who is their support system when they actually need support? As much as we expect a lot from people who've bobered in the family, I'm talking about this in mind that we've now gotten into December, and December is mostly a family month. As much as we go out and party and all that, as we go to the end of the month, is normally Christmas season, and that means it is time for family. And since it is time for family, there's a lot expected from the people who have made it who seem to have made it in their lives. But my question to you guys is, who does the strongest person go to? Who is the go-to person for this person who we are all looking up to? Where do they run when they need someone to talk to? I have seen my brother, even having achieved and been able to break the barriers of our family, I've seen him struggle a lot with alcoholism. Na saa zingine mi ukaa hivi najiuliza, I was actually asking my sister earlier this week, like, what's with this alcohol thing? Ni nini iko kwa hii pombe that it's a go-to for anybody who is succeeding? No, I have no problem with alcohol. I do take alcohol. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm just an occasional drinker every once in a while. But my question to us guys is, that person who's the strongest in your family that we all look up to, who do they go to? How are they mentally? How is their mental health? Do we ever think about these people as human beings, or do we put a lot of responsibilities on them that they cannot handle it, that when they are so overwhelmed, they have to, take that thirst, quench that thirst from external ways like alcohol? Do they have to get a release from somewhere else? Do we ever think about them like people who need help? Do we ever look at them like, yes, as much as he's made it financially, does he need us in any way? Or do we just go and take from them? And do we know what that does to them? Do we ever sit down with them and actually just get to actually know them? Or do we just expect so much from them? I know people whose parents have already asked them to take care of something, to buy mbuzi for Christmas, to buy this and this and this. But do we ever go to them and ask them, hey bro, what do you need? What can we do for you this Christmas? What can we do to make your life easier this season? It's something that I've been asking myself for a while now. Ni kitu imekuwa si kunisumbua, but it's something I've been asking myself. Where do the strongest people, who is the go-to person to the strongest people in our lives? When they have their own struggles, who do they go to? Do we ever even reach out to them and ask them how they're actually doing? And I'm saying this because earlier this year, for a long time I'd never thought about this, but earlier this year, I traveled home, probably at the beginning of the year, and I got to spend time with my bro, and he was out there drinking, just enjoying himself, and I was like, "Hey, bro, let me share in your drink." So I poured his drink on my cup, and we were just having gumzo, and I realized this guy has so many battles that he never speaks about. So many things that he's going through, so many things that are stressing his life that he has nobody to speak to. And it kind of like bothered me so much that I was like, I don't even know how to help him. I don't even know what to do. And this has gotten me asking this question so much because sometimes si uangalia wase wenye wako strong kwa family zetu, and we think they do not need help. We think they do not need a hand because they seem to have it all together. They seem to have it all together. I was listening to that kid's, the kiddo we buried this week, and I was listening to the mom speak about how walikuwa wanahitaji kitu home, anatoka anaenda na hustle na huko anakuja analeta. But nobody actually sat with him to ask him, how are you doing, man? How are you doing? Yes, unatusort. Yes, we need something in the how you've gone and gotten it. But how are you doing, man? Do we ever really ask people how they're doing? Or is this just a one-sided thing where they do for us and then we just take from them and then we keep moving? And when they cannot, we trash them. So this video is just a challenge as you go home for Christmas, as you prepare to take your long holiday, because most people in corporate jobs wanafunga. In the next 1 or 2 weeks, most people will have closed work and they will probably be traveling, heading home. As you go home, I want you to sit with the strongest person in your family, the person who has broken, who has attained something that none of you has, the person who's been able to achieve more in the family, and I just want you to ask them how they're doing, and genuinely just listen to them. Instead of giving them the pressure and all this work, why don't you just sit back and listen to them? Because sometimes we never know. You never know what that person is struggling with. They probably just need somebody to talk to. You're thinking about how you can gift that person, but they probably just need you to listen to them. They probably just need you to listen to them. Just sit with them for a minute and just, hey, what's up? Poor you, wacha kuwa judge. You see, for the longest time, I've been like very judgmental on my brother because of his drinking. Until the day I sat with him and I was like, you know what? Let me get your drink. Pati your drink unakunywa. Let me add it on my cup. And I sat there with him and we just enjoyed the drink. We just talked. We just talked for hours. We just talked. It was in the evening. We just talked through the night. And he opened up and I got to listen to him and I was like, wow. We never really know what these people are going through. We look at them as our end all be all. Undu mse atabai mbuzi ya Christmas. Undu mse atatubai gifts. Undu mse atabai nephew, mtoi wangu, something. But we never really sit down with them and ask them, how are you guys? How are you doing? How is your life? Hivyo tu. So I know this is a different kind of video from what I normally do, but I don't want to be sitaki kukua ule content creator anafanyanga tu one set of ama one set of content, anajulikana tu kwa content kuhusu madem. Na I just hope that this content will be able to reach to places that nobody ever talks about. That's all. And so as you prepare, it's end of year now, as you prepare to go home, as you meet with your family, maybe even the strongest person in the family, and you're watching this video, how are you doing? What is it that you're struggling with that nobody else knows? What is that thing that you really would want your family to know that is going on in your life that you have no one to talk to about? How are you doing? I'm going to end that video right there as a point to ponder. And also say congratulations to you for breaking through. Congratulations to you for going beyond, fighting the demons in the next level that you're in. Congratulations to you for achieving something that nobody else in your family has achieved. Congratulations to you for being the first one to break through generational curses and become different. Congratulations, man. You deserve it. Enjoy every moment of it. But as you fly high, also remember that to have an anchor, that when you are up there, even the biggest planes, they have a runway to land in. Even the biggest ships, they have an anchor. They have a port where they stop for refill, where they stop for offloading and refill and and service so that they can continue with their journey. So congratulations in all your achievements. Remember to have an anchor. Remember to have a runway, a place where you can calm down, a place where you can just be human, a place where you can come back and just reset and then keep going. I take December as a month to reset for most people. I take December as a month where we tone down. We've gone through everything we've gone through in the year, and then we tone down. We just take a breather. Like, you know what? Yeah, mwaka imeisha. Maybe I have achieved, maybe I have not, but it's a reset time. It's a time where I can sit back with my family. I can sit back with my nephews and nieces, my kids, and just reset. Then we revive again in January. So as you take this reset time, make sure that you have a place to offload. As much as you're resetting and refilling and servicing, also offload. Have a place where you can let go, let loose. And not at the alcohol or manini, just a place, someone you can talk to, someone you can actually offload. Find a therapist, find someone where you can actually sit with and just talk. And they listen. Because that helps. That helps. Hiyo video ndamalizia hapo sasa. I'll see you in the next one. And happy December. Enjoy it.